What if Satan is just God's alt account? Our shower thoughts. I feel sympathy for Satan. He's just another thing God created, and is being punished for acting the way God made him. Monsieur. I think the story went something like Lucifer was God's most perfect angel. But then he started questioning God's rule. So God gave him a place to rule over as an ironic punishment. I don't know if he was made that way. And that place is this place. To be fair, God is a bit of a cunt. Like, I'm no Satanist, but cut the guy some slack. We can't even have democracy in the heavens. Don't you know there ain't no devil, it's just God when he's drunk? Tom Waits. Well, apparently, nowhere in the Bible does it say that Satan rules in hell. The Bible never says Satan tempted Eve either. Just a serpent. Not dog is God's alt account. The natural disasters he caused in the Old Testament are just him forgetting to switch accounts. Sometimes he leaves the sink on in heaven and falls asleep. Hey Noah, I fucked up, man. Could you do me a solid? I'd owe you big time. I left the fucking water running again and things are gonna get pretty bad down there. God's plan. Or God is just Satan's alt account? Good guy Satan. God equals good my ass. Reading the Bible. There is an odd evolution to all the major players. For example, in the Old Testament it is understood that God is responsible for everything, good or bad. The angels that appear are often considered aspects of God himself, taking a less terrifying. For Monsieur, it stated that seeing the true form of God would literally kill a human being. Moses had to cover his eyes when God appeared. Interestingly, Satan doesn't really appear early on. The snake in Eden is not explicitly referred to as Satan, and the snake's punishment is very snake-specific. God doesn't say, "Oh, look, Satan is disguised as a snake in fooling Adam and Eve." God addresses the snake as a snake and takes its legs off. During the story of Noah and the flood, God ends up killing everyone because people are bad of their own accord. Satan's influence is never mentioned, and that's a recurring theme in the Old Testament. Things are punished or destroyed for displeasing or disobeying God, and this happens pretty swiftly after the fact. The idea that God would have an angel that is deliberately corrupting God's own creation, that God isn't stopping, would stand in very stark contrast of this. Satan does make an appearance in Job, but as an agent of heaven. Satan is an angel that, as his name suggests, Satan translates to adversary, accuses humanity of sinfulness. He suggests that God to destroy us again. But God wagers a bet against Satan. The book ends in one of the most dramatic climaxes in the Bible, with God more or less saying that shit happens and we shouldn't complain about it. There are a couple other interpretations I've always liked. The idea of a single God with multiple avatars to explain different events was an interesting take. I also like Neil Gaiman's take where Satan never did anything to tempt us. We didn't need the help, and he didn't bring us to hell either. We just came there ourselves demanding to be punished. In the end, Lucifer gets fed up and actually quits being the king of hell in what he feels is only the true act of free will he could really commit. Satan is an interesting character. Right, so have you ever read Reaper's Creek by Onavjan? Because this is basically the plot. Well, no, there is no plot, but this is one of the hacked-off happenings in the book. No, I haven't read that, but it does sound interesting. No, it's terrible. The book is fucking terrible. Don't give that piece of shit your money. Everyone is God's alt account, including you. If that's true, then why am I sad and suck at everything? Why does the other guy have a GF and I am still single? The other guy is also part of the world God made. You just got the short stick in that scenario. Satan is God's alt account used for NSFW stuff. Satan is the online account. God is the real-life person. Jesus is Satan's Finsta. Everyone needs some way to vent, I guess. Satan was an angel before being sent to hell after asking for equal rights. So now I wonder what would happen if a demon asked Satan the same thing. I read that quickly. and I thought it said, "What if Satan is just God's accountant?" And to be honest, it didn't really change much. Just as evil. Satan is God's finsta. Our shower thoughts. Damn it. Well, at least it took you a lot longer to figure it out than the last bunch. What if God was one of us? Lord, give us a sign, smiley face. What's the question? This should be on our shower thoughts. Or what if both Satan and God are humans? Alternate account to explain what they don't understand. S8_Hito has entered the chat. Well then, God clearly was messing around as Satan and made 2020 without signing out. What if Benjamin Franklin pooped rainbows? Probably not, but would be funny. Please bring back Twitter account Satan. I think he abandoned the alt and is just using his main account. He's using it for trolling his fans. All he uses it for is alt plus delete. Yes, in Martianism, my sect, this is true. Satan is an alt used by evil lesser deity Yahweh. You know how you'll be playing a game. You'll quick save and go on a rampage. Then look back and play normally. If this was the case, Satan is just God trying to explain those times when he fat fingers quick save again instead of quick load. Alt Old Testament God. That means Satanists who hate God hate Satan and Catholics, Christian who hate Satan hate God. What do you mean? What if that's the only logical conclusion? I think that idea is Gnosticus, monsieur. If God has created everything, then he is both good and bad at the same time. By definition, Satan is God's alt account. That's actually a good question to think about. I mean, Satan is not that bad of a guy. He is a misunderstood kid with daddy issues who punishes bad people for a living. Then again, bad people are bad because God made a plan for them to be bad. So who is who? I mean, God is supposed to be all-powerful, so he allows Satan and hell to exist. This is the greatest thing I have ever seen. Just know, I'm onto you, God. Side note, where is Satan 1-2221? I don't know, but I am the real one. And I am cooler than God. No, it's Jesus alt because he's ban evading. Asterisk, the Vatican wants to know your location. Asterisk. Okay, so I'm Catholic. And due to the way my parents force religion on me, I'm not that religious, and if we look at it from a practical point of view, the Catholic good news Bible is just a series of documents written by multiple different people and compiled into one big-ass book. This book was then translated into multiple different languages all over the world. So we can't say for sure that God truly exists, even though there have been manifestations of his and other spiritual entities' existence throughout the BC and AD period. Anyways, we can't be 100% certain he exists, hence the word faith and its meaning. But like my older brother likes to say, Earth and humanity is just a sadistic joke to God that he watches for comedy. All that said, if Satan is God's alt, well then, maybe God help us all. If you believe the book of Judas, he technically is. I don't know how to feel about this. Have you ever read the Old Testament? God comes across as a dick compared to Satan. Oh no, it's the Ender Wiggins siblings arguing on the internet ploy. Love those books, I gotta find them again. That would mean God sure did a lot of infighting. Wouldn't surprise me. But to keep the record straight, God has a long history of creating stuff that later discuss. Hi monsieur, it's kinda his thing. Like the dinosaurs. There's no devil, there's just God when he's drunk. Tom Waits. Happy Blue Cheese Day. It's for when he wants to be toxic AF and blame it on his little brother. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.